Hello and welcome to my channel. Recently a viewer sent me a question asking me how to disconnect this connector. Now there comes a time in an outboard's life when you need to remove the power trim and tilt unit out of here to repair or replace it. The problem is that connector body I just showed you does not fit through this tiny little hole. So you need to get the connector body off, leaving the terminals, aka just the wires, so you can feed them through that hole. It's common enough. Now it's a pretty old connector. It's a Packard 56 series, so if you know what a Packard is, you know how old this thing is. So you saw how I got that off. There's a little locking tab right here that slides over, so all you got to do is pry it up a little bit, slide it off, and that leaves us with just this end. Well, and this end too, but that one's easy to disconnect. So let me show you how to disconnect that. You basically need a pick or a tiny little flathead. You can come in through the top, push down the little locking tab, come in over here, push in the little locking tab, and both should pull right off. Now when I say locking tab, I mean these little guys, which you can pry back up and push right back in. Perfect. Now here is the terminal and the connector body. It doesn't have a locking tab on here. Instead, what it has is this one tiny little ear right there. So what that does is when it goes inside of the connector body, it just kind of clips onto the side right there. So to get it off, basically what we need to do is get in there with a small screwdriver and just push that in like so. I'm not going to use this small of a screwdriver, but you'll see what I mean. Alright, so you can see through the top which direction it's going. So see the difference? So it is facing that way. So all you got to do is bend this in just a little bit. This one's a little stuck, probably because I'm twisting it. All right, I'm going to come in through the side here and just push that tab in ever so slightly. This connector body is pretty old. Seems pretty flimsy for some reason. That or these wires got hot and melted the body a little bit. But the green should pull out now. Now the blue is a little trickier because it's harder to see which way it's going, but the top is over here. So I'm going to push in the top. And out she comes. So pretty easy to do. Now you can pull the whole thing out of the outboard body. Now I do this all the time. This bench I have, unlike my bench California, doesn't have the power trim and tilt controller built into it. So I just disconnect the connector body and use that to turn the motor up and down. However, given the fact that we got some pretty good sparkage here, that motor's not spinning. This power trim and tilt unit's got some problems. But maybe we'll have a how to repair that video up next. But that is not why we are here today. Today we are here to discuss that connector body. So to get it back together, after you've removed it through here, whatever you need to do, you could get some sandpaper, clean up the terminal ends, make sure they're nice and pretty. Get your screwdriver and bend these little legs back to where they need to go. You can reinstall it in the connector. Green goes on top. You can hear it clip in or snap in. There we go. Good to go again. All right, well, hope you found it helpful. Maybe next video we'll probably replace the motor on this pump unit. I don't know, we'll see.